Cutting edge guests, awesome, uncensored, jaw-dropping information, plus funny memes, good deeds, and loads of laughter. Kind of have it all. Ladies and gentlemen, if your soul's awake, then welcome, because you're in the right place. All right, you divine lions and lionesses, warriors of wellness is back. Join us here in the live chat for this powerful story of LifeWave, because the future is now. Because this is natural Star Trek-like technology, driving healing miracles for people in 80 plus countries around the planet. In fact, I have 3 major healing miracles just with these X39 stickers alone. Because the founder of the company is one of America's most prolific inventors of our time, nicknamed Tesla of our time, in fact. We're going to be sharing with you, myself and serial entrepreneur Connie Lucas, top of our company, powerful information regarding Cellergize AM and X39, how it activates all of your stem cells in your genome. You won't find this anywhere else. Plus, going to play that viral video of Captain Kirk at LifeWave headquarters, William Shatner, which everybody loves. There's tons of laughs. Bring your questions. We'll see you in the live chat very soon. Share this everywhere because you won't find this anywhere else. God bless you and see you soon. And here we are, everybody. Welcome to the stage, Connie Lucas. Yes, welcome back, Connie. I know we are rocking. So great to see you. 35 minutes is what we've got on the clock, everybody, for this show, because this woman who looks like she's 35 just became a grandmother for the first time a week and a half ago. So, wow, if that isn't what I call a healing miracle, reversing aging with these little stickers, the X39 patch, activating all your stem cells in a 30-year genome with Cellergize AM. That's what we're talking about today, and so much more. So thank you. Welcome back, and thanks for being here, Connie.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. It's always a blast. Thank you. Thank you.
It's totally awesome. Yeah, we've had some incredible shows since the conference. You were at the conference with your husband. You guys represent, to me, divine masculine, divine feminine, not only having had your own, successes, I call them healing miracles with the patch. Everybody heard 3 healing miracles I've had with X39 and LifeWave patches as well. So we'll get into that in a few more moments for people who are new in the audience. But the key thing too is also the ability to share. And the phrase with the company is be the light, share the light. Reiki master over a decade, myself, 25 years practicing Reiki. It's all about the light and the light spectrum and biophoton therapy. And I'm going to turn it over to you here, as we just had some really great news come in where it is 100%, not only are 70 patents, everybody, for regenerative phototherapy with these patches, but LifeWave, our company, just won the Biotech Breakthrough Award worldwide, around the world, 2025. #1 in the world for stem cell activation, and it's all natural. So why don't you, as an amazing leader on our team, been at this for several years with LifeWave, explain to our lovely audience X39, what this is, what that's all about, if they're hearing this for the first time. And that, to me, again, Star Trek technology when I first started.
You're really talking about that. Award was the duo of the combination of X39 with the Cellergize and the ingredients that are in Cellergize, really harnessing the body's ability to start to tap into what's possible. I love that I hear so many times the practitioners on our calls, I hear them talk about, think of, where so many of us are used to supplements, right? And Cellergize is a really, really comprehensive supplements, working with keynote ingredients that are known to help your body activate its own stem cells. And the ingredients are made such a way that they X39 and the technologies work by themselves, but adding the Cellergize just takes it to another level. So I think we're used to the idea of, okay, I put these things in my body, these supplements, I exercise, I eat right, I eat a variety of whole foods, and my body responds. But our bodies are more than that. Our bodies are about communication. And when you get into the X39 technology and the other patch technologies, what you're looking at is kind of cell-to-cell communication. It's that frequency that's tapping into the body, helping the body communicate, right? And so for people who have worked in energy, or for people who have worked in acupuncture, or maybe even if you look in the medical field, you look at EKGs, EEGs, these are electrical impulses. Our body is electric, our body is energy and free flowing. And so when you're using these technology, you're tapping into a couple things. One, when I was introduced to these, I saw, Brad, I know, is going to show you some photos. My husband had a puncture wound the diameter of a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a deep, massive puncture wound in his inner thigh. And in about 6-7 days later, he says to me, look at this. And it was a little scar. Like, it had healed so spectacularly fast that it caught my attention, right? And then I started watching. He was utilizing only X39 at the time.
Yeah.
And I started watching him, and he's, you know, he works out at the gym every day. He eats right. He supplements. He did all the right stuff. But at the time, he was still almost 60 back when we first tried this technology. And I started noticing he's getting improvements at the gym. His muscle mass is getting more defined. And we know with some of our technologies from the studies, if you look at the combination of X39 with X49, the performance bundle, you know, we see really beautiful gains in muscle mass, bone density, things that even the age, you know, in an aging population that typically can't do that. Why? Because it is communicating to the body, do this, do that. It is that signal, you're signaling. And so here my husband is using the X39 patch, and he's having these results. And he says to me, Connie, this was like what it was like when I was 20 and went to the gym. Now he's doing the right things, but the body's responding. The body knows how. So I'm looking at this, and some of you may feel the same way. I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. First of all, where's the light coming from? You know, because I was into nutrition. I understood nutrition, food is medicine, but I did not understand light and physics and phototherapy. Well, the light is you. What a beautiful thing. We're all light. And so we are the thing that activates the patch. Your body's light is what activates the nanocrystals in the patch that send just a frequency, a low-level frequency of light at a specific frequency into the body, and helps the body create something. In the case of X39, it's GHK copper peptide. And so when I looked at this, the first thing I did is I went and I researched, well, what is GHK copper peptide? What does that do? And you see the work of Dr. Lauren Picard. And as you look at that, you start to see that peptide that he discovered well over 40 years ago, Dr. Picard, you start to see that peptide helps the body it automatically right away starts resetting a third of the human genome to a younger, healthier state. Right? It starts to help with, you see in the studies on PubMed of GHK copper peptide, you start to see the healing effects, that all of these things that Brad's looking at here start to happen because of that peptide. What the patch does, when you look at the patents and the science of the patch and the studies, the double-blind studies that were done, what you start to see is that patch helps your body to make that peptide like you did when you were younger. Right? So that is the simple explanation. And people get caught up. We're such a this for that world, right? Have this, take this pill. Have that, do this. This is so simple. It doesn't matter what is going on. It is going to put the body back into balance, and your body will know exactly what it needs to do to regenerate and to make changes.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And in our chat on Rumble, because we're streaming to YouTube as well, Rhino Hunter 64 says this about the patch: taking X39 49 glutathione patch since April 23rd. And so this is the X39. All the patches look the same. Little sticker, medical like an adhesive, 3M adhesive. Tip it off, put it on the back. C7 level is fine for X39 is where I usually wear mine. And the convenience is amazing, right? Like, wear it 12 hours, brush your teeth in the morning, put them on, you know, certain ones, take them off at night, you know, brushing your teeth and whatever. It's so simple. Disposable. Everybody gets 30 in a sleeve. That's a 1 month supply. So what Rhino Hunter is saying here in the chat, April 23rd. So fantastic. Thank you. Says that 49 for recovery after aerobic exercise, weight training, glutathione for detox. I'm 62 years old, but I feel like I'm 40. That is freaking awesome. Live in our chat right now. I don't even know who Rhino Hunter 64 is. You know, like people have all these titles, right? But thank you, Rhino Hunter 64, for sharing that. And the way I perceive this is, you know, with X39, the technology, it's 10 years. I'm going to go over to the Yahoo Finance article with that biotech award that everybody just saw over here. And boom, here it is. Directly a quote from David Schmidt, the inventor, who is the Tesla of our time. No joke about it. He has over 200 patents issued or pending by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So that to me right alone is the Tesla of our time. His nickname was Spock in college. And here's what he says from that Biotech Award 2025 for Cellergize and X39, Cellergize Morning, because it activates stem cells in 1/3 of your genome. He says, we're thrilled to accept the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year Award from Biotech Breakthrough for our products. He continues on and says, this comes after a 10-year journey into stem cell research and a $4.3 million investment, resulting in over 70 patents for our company in the field of regenerative science. Our phototherapy patches are uniquely designed to stimulate the body with low levels of light that support specific biochemical mechanisms that promote recovery and a general state of wellness. Driven by innovation and proven by science, we are dedicated to maximizing human potential through advanced life technology. So this again is why 2 years ago with my very first healing miracle in October of 2023, and now I've been sharing it for over a year and a half, because this to me is like we had the good old Dan Aykroyd say in Blues Brothers 2000, I'm on a mission from God. And being a Canadian, I can say that too, right? I just don't have the shades nearby me. So thank you, Dan, for that. And this literally is like, here we have your God molecules, Dr. Pam Lewin on our Sunday Doctors. Anybody hasn't met that lovely lady, just turned 70, I believe it was, or 72.
Oh, Dr. Pam. Dr. Pam is 81.
She's 81. She's picking up.
She's playing pickleball.
Yeah.
She looks amazing. She's an MD that just really saw that, you know, she worked allopathic medicine, you know, as a general practitioner, MD, her entire life. But she just started seeing that there were things that you could do to enhance the body, you know, enhance the potential. Yeah. And I have known that woman for well over 16 years, might even be closer to 20 now. And everybody will tell you, including Dr. Pena, he's always saying, oh my goodness, Barbara Lippincott, these women that are in their 80s, they look better than they looked 20 years ago.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's why I thought I was throwing 70 out there. So I thought 70 or 71, 81.
Yeah.
On the show here this spring, she said, oh, I'm sorry, a little bit late because I was just taking out the bags of concrete from my car and carrying them into the house. I'm like, wait a second, what did you say? And she had dry bags, 25-pound bags of concrete. So how many 81-year-olds do you know who are lifting 25-pound bags of concrete out of the back of their car and carrying up to the house because she's redoing her porch steps? Like nobody except those who are using this. So this to me is unsettling. It's incredible.
It is. And Pam's been on the patch technology for 5 years now. And so that really speaks to the consistency. There's something that's really important. And we talk a lot about it on Doc Talk, that nobody's trying to sell you a patch. We're trying to help you get your desired outcome. And that is a piece of time. It takes time. You know, if you're 60 years old, like, you know, I'm 61, you know, give it at least 6 months, a year to see the changes that start to happen. The effects compound over time. It also is a good time to say, you know, LifeWave, its brand partners, we don't claim to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure any medical diseases. We are putting the body back into a place where the body can happen. It can produce its own miracles. Your body knows what to do. You just have to give it the right signal, right? And we're giving it the right signal. And then with the Cellergize added in, we're giving it the right nutritional support as well. So beautiful, beautiful combination.
Huge and amazing combination. And the reason why I can't contain my excitement is because I've said as well, since I started this is gives people a second lease on life. I had a frozen shoulder from being run over on my motorcycle with the RCMP arrested the woman who went through the stop sign with her SUV, ran the stop sign, T-boned me up into the windshield, head, shoulder, flipped, went across three freaking lanes, smashed into a fire hydrant. They closed down the entire intersection at Pandosy in Kelowna, British Columbia. Everybody knows that in that area. For 4 hours, to thinking that I would die on the way to hospital. Didn't know why I hadn't died yet. I wore full gear and an airbag vest, but still I had massive problems. And my shoulder still had not fully healed. And I refused surgery because I found out what Oxycontin is, not oxytocin, which mothers have, like your lovely daughter just had, delivering your brand new grandson, and congrats again. But Oxycontin, I'm like, wait, this is 10 times more addictive than street level oxy. And the very first thing is potential for suicide, death, and murderous tendencies. Plus you might be bleeding from all these different orifices where the sun don't shine. And war, no thanks. So that's why I've refused to do surgery, my choice. This patch that I started with Ice Wave in 2 minutes and 57 seconds, this right shoulder, I was at a 9 out of 10 on pain, excruciating, constantly it would come up. Chronic pain, boom, the pain dropped from a 9 to a 1, almost vacant and gone in 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And 10 minutes later, it completely vanished. So by leveraging that compound, like we do compound interest in investing and financial investing, continue to wear the patch, the X39, to not only reverse aging, but take care of other elements in our body. My right shoulder is totally fine, no problem. And then also it regrew my molar, my left molar, as everybody knows here. And you know well, Connie, 2 years ago in 8 weeks, it regrew my freaking left molar. And here I am in my 40s, and my former father-in-law, amazing man, was the top periodontist in the world, where people would fly into Toronto from their private jets, where they were coming from Trinidad and Tobago or over in Europe, and pay 6 figures for certain dental work from him because he was the best of the best around the world. So I had an idea of what it would take if you pulled my left molar at this age in life. 9, I did the wallpaper method with the patches. I did some colloidal silver and proper cleaning, dental hygiene, thanks to the doctors on our team and Dr. Kathy Wong. And my choice was, I'm not going to lose this molar if I can't. And that was my choice. And guess what? It grew in 8 weeks. Grew back. I'm eating meat again. All that. It was incredible. So a lot of amazing healing miracles here. And before I go to the video of David Schmidt, so everybody gets a comprehension of who this man is and how he wants to help transform the world for good with technology, and why you're going to see, probably all of you for the first time, why you think he was nicknamed Spock in college, because he's definitely a Trekkie too. Amazing man. What has your experience been with David Schmidt, you and your husband and the incredible team that we're all part of, that you've helped build? And I'm so grateful and blessed to be on.
Yeah, it really is a mission. When you look at a company, and particularly those of you that are entrepreneurial and are thinking, okay, this is an amazing technology. I want to try it for myself. And if it works for me, I want to share it with others. Because there was something that one of your brand partners, Anne, said when we were going to conference, and that I really think is so true, is she said, when you're talking about light, when you're talking about our body's light and just the light and universe, she said it's almost there, as people wear the patches, many times what we hear is people get a sense of well-being. They just get a sense of things being lighter and better. And so as more and more of us are wearing this technology, it really, to me, as she was speaking to, it sounded, she's saying, it really raises the entire vibration of the planet. Right? The more of us that are wearing this, the more people we're sharing with, we come together as a global community and really raise up the light in this time that we're in right now. So I thought that was really beautiful. But Barry and I had the opportunity to meet David Schmidt in early 2022 to really look at this company. A friend was like, you've got to see what he's doing. I know you're into science. You've got to take a look. And when you're looking at a business, you're looking at who is involved, who is the owner, who is that leader, that visionary that you're following. And David is the literally most humble person I've ever met. There is no doubt he's a genius. We've had him in rooms with dozens of doctors, and they can ask him questions, and it's like you can't stump him. It's unbelievable. But every time he talks about, thanking us for helping him, for getting this out to the world, for changing lives. So the humility, the science was rock solid when we dug into it. The company was rock solid. It is a privately owned company. It is in the relationship marketing space for good. It's not about making money. It's about changing lives. And you're showing Code of Creation, which we hope to have released soon to the public. And at conference, we got to see a private screening of this. And there are so many people in here that those of you who are into biohacking, you're going to see when this does come out, you're going to see some people that you've probably followed that are working in tandem with David. And what he has created is absolutely life-changing for people from a biohack situation. So again, no medical claims. We don't need to make medical claims. The body is a miracle. And one of the things that's going to happen is when you put this on, you don't get to pick the fix. I love how Dr. Kathy talks about that. This isn't like things when you're working in allopathic medicine, you take this for that. That's not what this is. Your body will prioritize. And when you look at the research, what we saw that the first place the body goes to work is the brain, the cardiovascular system, and the GI tract, which is your immune system, right? The different studies we did, you could see the changes. And the reason that's happening is because that's what keeps you alive. The body doesn't care about the fine lines and wrinkles. Yes, they'll go away. Yes, the collagen will come. Yes, all the hair, I've had most of the people I know when I was a hairstylist for 40 years, the people who utilize this technology got great results with things that are cosmetic. But it's what's inside that's happening that you don't feel that starts to change, and your body will prioritize. So again, you don't get to pick this for that. It's simply wear the patch, put it on, be consistent, give it a year, give it 2 years. Things will start to change, and it will change differently for each person based on their body's needs.
It absolutely will. And right before I roll over to that video with David, and thank you for chatting about the Code of Creation too. Somebody had asked her about nerves in the chat on the Rumble side, and then about Reiki Master on our YouTube side. And being a Reiki Master of a decade, being a guy who never took a penny for it because I had my own beautiful personal experience with it almost a quarter of a century ago. And I decided to do it for myself and for horses and animals. And so that was part of my volunteering, right? I would gift Reiki to horses, BLM, Mustang roundups, those also in Canada and other places, that have had incredible trauma and working on that. What I did not see though, was the immense healing that happened from Reiki, where such that we have this example of a child who put X39 on, the parents put X39 on the fingertip that was cut off. And this was in Germany a couple of years ago, summertime during a camping trip. And the child was playing with something, sliced the fingertip off, went to the hospital. The parents told the doctors, said, no, sew the fingertip back on. We have these amazing patches, their choice. And 8 weeks later, the entire fingertip healed with no evidence of scarring and had all the nerves. Now, this one I'm going to show you just for the next 30 seconds is a little bit more heavier to watch, but again, it shows you in a 60-day cycle of leveraging the patches, leveraging phototherapy, and activating the copper peptides, just like we've showed with the copperpeptidebreakthrough.com website and half a century of research Connie mentioned. What can really happen when you help put your body in a state of homeostasis to allow it to heal itself. And this is in 8 weeks post-surgery. And of course, small things like this, cut day 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly healed up. And you had also initiated our conversation with your husband and that big hole in his side of his leg and, inside his thigh. And then 6 days later, it was almost gone and vanished. So
yeah. When people tell me it doesn't work, I'll joke with them. I'll be like, I'll cut your finger. You can't find it in a couple of days. I was a hairstylist, like I said, for 42 years. Occasionally you cut yourself in a couple of days. I'm like, I can't even find the cut. Right. So the company, when you look at the company does is a wellness technology. We are not a medical device. And again, we don't claim to treat, diagnose, cure, prevent, heal anything. But this is what we're seeing. And when you go back to looking at what do the patents actually show, what does the research that David did for all those decades show, it shows you the results. And what we see from most of the surgeons, doctors, people on our teams, and even just people like me who accidentally cut their finger, is we do see that from, most people see about a 40 to 60% increase in, healing. It's pretty spectacular, even though the company does not make any claims, to do that. You have to kind of put it all together for yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. And then here's David himself in his own words with his mission. 2-minute video.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
I get shivers every time.
I know. I love watching that each time, because that truly is who David is. And you look at that piece, those things, he's already created these things, and we have them coming. But when you look at this, he's giving back our right to our own sovereignty. He's giving back our right for us to be able to take care of ourselves and our families. That's really what so many of his creations are about, is putting us back in control of put us back in control of our own health and wellness, putting us, if we choose to, from an entrepreneurial perspective, into the ability for us to create parallel additional streams of income for our family. And so he's really giving a gift to all of us.
Yeah, he most definitely is. And one of the things that I truly also enjoy is, I was raised in Canada, for the audience who knows. We had a lumber business. And so mom and dad, we had lumber mills, but it was tied to an economic cycle. So that when, the US real estate market crashed, guess what? The second largest importer, or the largest importer of Canadian lumber, the second largest export for Canada was lumber, right behind auto parts. So all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're in a recession, near depression, we lose the homes. Then it bounces back. Then you get back to knowing what you're doing, and then they build up the lumber business again. We have another lumber mills, other stuff going on, and then it crashed again. So I lived through a cycle where by the time that I went into the Canadian Armed Forces as an infantry soldier, we had been, made it and then broke, and out on the street to making it and then broke, and then my parents to make it again. And so I've seen what the economic cycles do. And one of the things that they also didn't have, and then me being an entrepreneur and the different initiatives that I've been involved in for the last nearly 20 plus years since I left Research in Motion BlackBerry in 2004, is you're mostly a solopreneur. You might have a team. You can get coaches and consultants and whatnot. But it's all up to you. You have to come up with the marketing, the creative. You've taken on a ton of the legal and the liability, the financing, syndicating equity, getting loans, building this all out, whatever, hiring employees, staff, consultants, 1099s, W-2s, you name it, right? The great thing about this is you're taking something that can restore DNA, which restores DNA for less than the price of a Starbucks freaking coffee a day, even in Canada. Starbucks freaking coffee a day restores people's DNA. And especially with certain governments around the world right now, you know, we need to be very mindful, especially coming into the holiday season, being around family members, being very mindful that, hey, there are alternatives to having to get, and I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not giving medical advice, but there are alternatives to having to be prescribed something and take something that could potentially have some very detrimental side effects, like my Oxycontin story, why I chose not to do surgery that time. So from this standpoint, to me, it's like unbelievable. And David never raised the price for 10 years on the patches. It was developed originally, this one for energy enhancer patches for the Navy SEALs as a Black Ops program. The next level obviously is X39. And back to his Trekkie days, you know, because we're coming towards the end here as well, everybody, for this quick show. I want to share with you an amazing video, which we had amazing response on when I put it out last week, Connie, with William Shatner. So what can you tell us about Captain Kirk and being friends with David Schmidt, who grew up loving Star Trek and was literally nicknamed Spock?
Oh my gosh.
Why is this so significant? What do you think?
It was so fun when William Shatner literally a couple of years ago beamed himself. We have in all of our centers around the world the ability to really almost to beam in hologram through some of the technologies. And William Shatner kind of beamed in, and, you know, for David, this was his hero for all these years. So it was really funny, but he loves the company and David. And so you can see by him taking on this really fun little spoof we did, you can see that they're a really great relationship with each other. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, most definitely. So here it is, everybody, because this is absolutely hilarious. Plus, it gives you a tour of the headquarters, even though there's offices in the major continents around the world. So enjoy this with Captain Kirk.
I've lived a long life. I've done a lot of things, but I've never been an intern.
I'm the founder, sure, but I'm also an inventor. My latest experiment? Hire William Shatner, but as an intern. No way I can afford that guy full-time.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm going to be your trainer for today.
Hi, Alicia. Hi, Alicia.
William Shatner?
Yeah, well, you can call me Bill. Or intern. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's just fine. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of our Welcome Center.
I hear they have something like a captain's bridge in the Welcome Center. Feels like you're traveling through space.
I have an award-winning production designer
This I gotta see.
for decades. And hey, Bill.
Wait,
Bill.
No, please, no sci-fi today. I'm just here as an intern, that's it. I just beamed in. Yeah, I know that look. I get that look whenever I sneak around, and you're sneaking. Go away. I'm busy. Jackpot. You didn't see a thing. People gotta see this.
Bill. Who let you in here?
He let me in here.
Bill? Captain?
Oh, you gotta get out here. The old intern who looks an awful lot like me. He's messing things up.
But wait, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a sci-fi thing. Come on.
Oh, excuse me. David, was that? Is that in budget?
Oh,
Here you are. Come on. Back to the group.
people gotta see this.
I know. It's a part of the tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you ready for me?
Doug. Bill? Doug? Bill. Doug. Bill. For goodness.
You know Doug.
Do I know Doug? Star Trek designer on props and sets and the spaceships and this?
Came out beautifully, huh?
Oh, Doug is...
Hey, Bill.
Oh,
One of your clones said you're causing trouble.
you're taking the word of a clone?
Personally, I always go with the original.
That's a good idea.
I have a question. Are you really going to be an intern here?
But, yeah, why not? But first, I gotta tell you about the Welcome Center here at the LifeWave offices.
Okay, this is a commercial. Got it.
No. It's a kinda soft sell. No, just a simple suggestion, really. Copy this QR code to learn about LifeWave, its products, and their amazing Welcome Center, and that's it. I had a great time experiencing their amazing life-changing technology and learning about the opportunities surrounding one of the fastest-growing companies on the planet, and you will too. So check them out, and just tell them Bill sent you, the real Bill, not that sci-fi clone. Oh, okay. Hey, duty calls. Back to intern.
Is that fun?
So much fun. Absolutely incredible. And, I mean, this is a year ago, and I didn't know that this was going to come out with this video. Sorry, not even video, it's documentary, Code of Creation. Over a year ago, I'm like, this is going to be the company that changes the world. It'll be a household name. Then found out about the documentary and went, okay, it's going to be a household name by the end of 2025. So when Code of Creation, if anybody doesn't know, as Connie was chatting about David Schmidt when I put up this photo earlier, just prior to the video, that's Mickey Willis, right beside David Schmidt. The taller guy with the white shirt, Mickey Willis. People will recognize Mickey's name from Plandemic, The Great Awakening. He had over 3 billion views of his documentaries. During the last 6 years, we've been on heavy censorship and whatnot. And so he knows a lot about putting the right message out there, which aligns spiritually with everybody. You can feel the resonance in your soul. And the fact that, he paired up and partnered up with David, and as you mentioned, a few other names that people have been following, to really do a documentary on David Schmidt, LifeWave, and all of this technology from free energy, clean energy cells, which are coming down the line from the company. It's already been announced too, and other things. It's really an incredible time to be alive and be very inspired just alone by the X39 Cellergize. Right?
Well, let me tell you too, and your viewers, what Mickey Willis said as he was speaking this year before we got to see a preview of the documentary, and that was, that these were some very heavy topics that he's, of these documentaries in the past. He said this was the most amazing breath of fresh air for he and his team, because LifeWave is a joyful company. David is a joyful, God-driven man who just, to be able to work on something that is this innovative, but life-changing, special, from the heart, to be able to do this documentary, he said it was just so wonderful for he and his staff compared to some of the very heavy topics he's had to create in the past. So I think people will really enjoy it. And I hope that when it is released, whatever venue it is released on, people will definitely take a look at this. Before we wrap up too, I really want to say to your viewers that it's really important LifeWave is one of the fastest growing, it has been for the past years, the fastest growing company in our channel. And as such, when you start to get to this size, you start to get people who come in and they try to create knockoffs and they try to create other things. So it is so important that you go back to Brad. You go back to Brad. He will help you through his links. He has a team that helps support you, and he'll help you get his wholesale pricing. Whether you want to be a customer, whether you're like, I want to be a brand partner and I want to share this too, whatever it is you choose to do, he's going to help you do that. And you're getting your product direct from the company. It's going to be efficacious. It's going to have its money back guarantee. If you go look for it anywhere else, it is not. And if the price is lower than his wholesale pricing, you can bet it's probably not actually even effective product. So that's a buyer beware of where you are getting this technology from. Come directly to the source.
You got it. And we're wrapping up now. So Connie has to go. I just want to mention, because we had a question in the chat about the helping people with X39 taking various drugs. So we cannot answer that question live on this, but we have, through our team, as we mentioned, phone, doc talk, Zooms, email, cell phone support, all around the globe, getting together. We're doing a Canadian roadshow right now. They're in Winnipeg today, Tuesday, November 18th, as we're doing this live. So you can come on and you can meet with physicians of us. They're not your physician. We can't treat, diagnose, cure. We're not here to prevent, but there are certain things that we can discuss and share with that you might find helpful too. So the individual who asked that question, I know that you are also an X39 customer who just came on, so you'll get a welcome letter, an email from us, telephone numbers anywhere in the world, because this is on all 5 major continents. Over 80 countries are supported here. And I thank you so much, Connie, for being an amazing leader, supporter, advocate, and friend as well now in this company, part of our team. So we are all together on a team to help everybody on the world on this mission to uplift humanity with this incredible technology, because we're all beings of light. Thank you, Connie. And thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Thank you.
You got it. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks, Connie. Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, follow, subscribe, share this with 9 friends and family. And of course, if you enjoy our blinged Buddha firing red pills from his 9mm, let us know.